Hey everyone, I'm Catherine. I'm here with Dr. Bacon for another Breakfast with Bacon, and today we're going to be talking about yeast and fungal overgrowth.
Good topic. We've already talked a little bit about what creates yeast, right? And even stress and that kind of stuff. But what are some signs and symptoms of yeast, Catherine?
Yeah, some common symptoms are like gas, bloating, constipation, lots of sugar cravings. We like to look at people's tongues, and you can see a white coating if they have some yeast.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I just got back. I was visiting overseas, and I saw. I was doing like just a demonstration and talk, and one of the owners of this gym said, "Hey, doc, this guy just hurt his back. Can you help him?" And I'm thinking, okay, great. I just proved how great chiropractic was, and I have this guy barely able to get out of the chair, come walking over, and literally I sat down. Also, clammy hands is another one. So I put my hands on his. I could feel it. I looked at the chiropractors in the room, and I said, watch, I'm going to help this gentleman without putting my hands on him and adjusting him. And that almost kind of made him go, no way. But I asked him, I said, listen, have you been having some bowel issues? So he'd been constipated for about 3 weeks, so off and on, right? Working for 2 days to even have a bowel movement. Plus he had, I said, stick your tongue out. He was completely white and frothy tongue. And the whole audience saw it. So we did a maneuver to help with the fascia. Literally stood him up. He could barely move to get on the table. After we did this, we stood him up and walked around, and the whole room went silent. This is the power of what the body can do if we give it what it's supposed to and help it move better and function better. Now, obviously we didn't fix the problem. We just got to move in the right direction. But boy, oh boy, did we get him going. So let's talk about 3 things that we can do to help with yeast. Of course, helping with the fascia does help. Front door, back door is what we call that. Number 1 is going to be starving out that yeast. So in other words, eliminating breads, pasta, potatoes, rice, things of high carbohydrates to actually not feed the yeast. Remember, the yeast wants 2 things. B vitamins, so this is why you feel lethargic or run down, and then when you get the carbohydrates, whoop, you get a little pick-me-up, and then all of a sudden what happens? And it happens to all, whether you're an adult or the kids. Pay attention to this, parents. It's a great way to understand what's going on with your child's gut, right? And then now number 2, so that's going to give us that, and it also craves B vitamins, and then also craves sugar. And that's where if you're eating that sugar on a regular basis, even if it's carbohydrates, it's turning and converting into bad yeast in the gut, which is creating more of this cycle that's no longer really good for our body. Now, number 2 would be also,
we want to feed the good bacteria in the gut. So giving it good things like fermented foods, probiotics, lots of good fiber. So adding in lots of different vegetables, and then focusing on those fermented foods that we've been over a lot, but having just a spoonful of sauerkraut, or having some kimchi, snacking on some fermented pickles, or having some like coconut kefir or coconut yogurt, but want to keep that unsweetened since we don't want any of the sugar.
and I'm going to touch a little bit too. People talk about apple cider vinegar too, right? Apple cider vinegar is another great thing to help with gut. The reason why, remember, we are so toxic. Apple cider vinegar shouldn't really affect us the way it does. But we're so toxic in our environment that apple cider vinegar looks like it's holy water going in there and healing the gut. It's because that gut is not producing enough acid. Under high stress, it will shunt that body's ability to create that acid. Food rots, creates more of a poor environment, reflux, all this other stuff that comes along with it, okay? Now, number 3 would be supplementation. And there's a lot of good things. You've heard a lot of great things about oregano oil. Well, we use what's called gut flora. This is a enteric coated. It goes in and helps to kill off and helps to eliminate the bad yeast and other microbiome that's in the lower part of the gut. That's going to be a great way to transform and get good bacteria back and thriving in there. Now, if I continue to eat like poorly and I take a vitamin, it may not really work as well. So you still got to be really diligent about your nutrition and your diet. Now, the other 2 products are Zymex, which is actually like a gut conditioner. Like I look at this like women would put a conditioner in their hair. It fortifies it, strengthens it. I don't really have that much hair to use conditioners, so I don't really have to go that route. The other one is Spanish black radish, and Spanish black radish is like gum out for the stomach and digestive system. It really helps clean out the digestive system, change the good bacteria in the gut, and really a great product to help clean out liver and digestion. So 3 products that literally you can stagger these or just start with 1 and see some great changes. Catherine, thank you very much for doing this. It's a lot about yeast. We talk about it. We're going to do this all month long about kind of the whole gut microbiome, yeast, bacteria, everything else that goes along with it. So pay attention, stay tuned. If you have questions, comment below, share this with your friends and family, and we'll see you again on the next Breakfast with Bacon.